Ready?
Ready.
Action.
Action.
All right, wine fanatics, welcome back. It's John and
Gábor.
We're at Tasting Table in Budapest, and we're going to continue on tasting some wines from Szilárd Nádas, a winemaker from the Etyek region. Last time we had a few of his sparkling wines, and I think, I really enjoyed them.
I did too.
And we're going to continue on with these 4 still wines now.
When people hear about the Etyek region in Hungary, and those non-Hungarians, the few who know a little bit about Hungarian wine, they always think about this tiny little village, outside of Budapest, because that's named Etyek. Officially speaking, actually, it's called Etyek Buda, the region, and it's much larger, geographically speaking, than just the village of Etyek. So there is Etyek, there are the Buda Hills, Budajenő, Budaörs, and all of those villages west of the city. And many people don't realize, but even Lake Velence, so a freshwater lake, about a 45-minute drive from Budapest on the way to the big lake, Lake Balaton. So Lake Velence is also part of the Etyek Buda region. Buda, Etyek, and the Lake Velence, these are the 3 larger areas that comprise the Etyek Buda wine region. Today we're tasting 3 white wines and only 1 red variety. The region does focus mostly on international varieties. The first one we're tasting is a very Hungarian variety called Király Leányka.
What the heck does that mean?
Cheers to the princess.
To the princess. I'm the princess today.
No, I'm not talking about you, man. I'm talking about the wine.
I'm
because
offended.
Király Leányka means little princess. Király is king, and Leányka, the daughter of the king, which means princess. So this is a fairly common grape here in Hungary. It originates from Transylvania, Romania, and is the natural cross between Kövérszőlő and Leányka, 2 indigenous Hungarian varieties. The first time I had this grape was during university. This was one of those wines that was my favorite for a long time. If you're new to wine, Király Leányka is a great one to start with. Aromatic, perfumey, elderflower. There's nothing to worry about when you're sipping this wine or trying this wine, or when you're opening this wine. Everybody's going to love it.
Easy drinking, but in general, I agree with all of those notes you just gave. But for me, this one's a little bit riper. It's juicier. It's almost more on like the stone fruit and the tropical fruit side, or like at least that's what I think. What do you think?
I agree. So this is a somewhat atypical Király Leányka, more full-bodied, smaller batch production, of course. Like you said, yeah, tropical fruit, a little bit of chamomile for me, which I get a lot, and made in stainless steel tank. Very, very pleasant wine. It's a joyful wine, but still there's a lot of content here. And what would you eat this with? Drink this with?
I would drink that with anything, like for example, different variations of like really, really fresh salads. So for example, I'd take like a fresh salad, some grilled chicken on top, and then maybe add some like pear slices or some apple slices, and something light, not too spicy, not too many flavors going on, but something simple and fresh. Or even like any, some kind of fish-based dish, or even something simple, fried fish with like fish and chips. Fried fish, French fries, summer food.
Yeah,
Lake Balaton, Lake Velence, summer food. Langosh. I mean, a lot of local options, which means you have to come here.
Yeah, langosh would be great with this. Langosh with sour cream and dill.
Exactly, yeah. A little bit herbal, freshness, all of that stuff going on. And we have Sauvignon Blanc coming from Etyek, which is, once again, kind of an atypical representation of that grape, because when we think Sauvignon Blanc, we usually think very reductive, very fresh, some herbaceous sweets, like some, a little bit of green pepper, maybe some tropical fruits, maybe some grapefruit or a little bit of passion fruit. It's
really good.
This is so weird, and I love it. So what's going on here? We have,
well, again,
it's Nádas. So he's playing with us. He's playing with us in a really typical way by doing something a bit different. In this case, an uncommon choice for this grape, but he's doing a little bit of barrel aging. So we've got 1 year of total aging before it's bottled, 2/3 in stainless steel and 1/3 in oak barrels. And so what that's going to do, round it off a bit more, give it some texture, kind of tame that high acidity a little bit, and just add a layer of complexity to the wine that usually doesn't show on this grape because of how they typically work it.
Yeah, so this is not the New Zealand kind of Sauvignon Blanc, the perfumey, grassy, light, easy drinking. This is more on the cool climate side, maybe Loire Valley, and full-bodied, fruity, lush, and serious wine, serious Sauvignon Blanc.
This also has still really, really great acid, but because of that, limestone-rich soil in the main part of the Etiek region, you're getting that touch of just like wet stones kind of minerality, which always gives that nice touch of more complexity to that grape, especially. So this is really just the kind of common line of thought with all of Nádas's wines, is that he's experimenting, he's doing things that are a bit out of place, a little bit odd, not to the point where they're not likable, but just that he maintains that reputation and that image of what is he going to come up with next.
Exactly.
And this one is the perfect example, especially if you consider that he's been making that style for a few years now, since before the big orange wine boom that's happened in the last 4 to 5 years. And so the name of this one, Vodny, how do we explain that in Hungarian? People would taste this wine and say to him, is this red? Is this white? Or like, what the heck is it? And so this Vodny, we use that in the context of like, or what? Or like, or what the heck?
Exactly.
And so that was the kind of reaction that he first got from this, because, we're usually used to drinking white, red, or rosé, and those are kind of the big three. But now we have a fourth seat at the table, orange wine.
Yeah.
And so, how do we even get that?
Well, Pinot Gris is a fairly common grape to make orange wine with, because Pinot Gris, Szürke-barát in Hungarian, has a fairly dark, almost pink color, even when you look at it on the vine. And with a longer maceration, with a longer skin contact, you can get to a point when the white wine is a rosé. And with an even longer skin contact, you will get to a point when it's an orange, so-called orange wine, named after the beautiful orange, amber color. Szilárd, I know, is fairly skeptical about this. He's very proud of the skills he has for making these wines, and he makes one orange wine, and this is it. And sometimes orange wine can be very tannic, very acidic because of the long skin contact, and this is not. This is extremely enjoyable, almost like chewing on like a candy.
Something
no,
like
it's
that,
not sweet, but there's a bit of candy.
Right, it has that more
sour,
like
sweet and sour candiness.
And lots of this like peach, apricot, stone fruits, maybe even like nectarine as well. Juicy, but with that nice little bit of tannin that comes with the orange wine. Like if we're we feel like having a little bit of a different type of cuisine for dinner, and we want to order some Indian food or something like that with all these curry spices and stuff, that's amazing next to that, because it has the tannin and the acid and the fruit to stand up to those flavors.
We're moving on to number 4. Again, oh my god, look at this beauty. That's the visuality is so beautiful on these wines. Pinot Noir, so obviously we're talking about a French grape, a grape that made its name in Burgundy, and then from there it became a grape that is grown all over the globe, from Oregon to Australia, and Hungary is also a grower, and everybody has a favorite Pinot Noir.
Absolutely.
It's a very popular grape, so you better know what you're doing if you're a winemaker and you're making Pinot Noir. But Szilárd doesn't need to be worrying about this. This is a really, really beautiful wine. It was aged in oak for 1 year, and it fermented in open vats. And from the first day of fermentation to the last, when fermentation finished, Szilárd and maybe Veronica too were doing the punching down. So it happens manually in an establishment like this, and the fermentation pushes the skin of the berries to the top, and in order to get more extraction, more flavors, more color, every day or maybe a couple of times a day, somebody has to re-soak those drying skins into the juice. And we're talking about Pinot Noir, so the color is on the lighter side.
Definitely on the lighter side.
Beautiful, shiny red, and also viscous. Like you can see that there's a lot of good juice in here.
Definitely.
It paints the glass, colors the glass very nicely, coats the glass nicely.
In your opinion, does this fall closer to like the old world style or the new world style?
Old, I would think, because of the light color, lighter body, very fruity, lots of raspberry, strawberry. These red fruits are present.
Definitely. So if someone is used to drinking Pinot Noir from the west coast of the U.S. or maybe Australia, this could be a slightly different experience. But that's what's fun about wine is you get different styles from different parts of the world.
With the limited experience I have with New World Pinot Noirs, those would be darker, more full body.
Definitely.
That's my experience.
Yeah.
So, guys, this was the Pinot Noir, vintage 2022, and the name for it is Östen Instinct, and I think Szilárd does have the instinct for making some really good stuff.
The combination of his knowledge and his skills next to his instinct to make the right decision and make the creative choices. For me, so far today, it hasn't failed on any of these wines.
Yeah, so you can taste these wines, get hold of these wines at tastehungary.eu or tastehungary.us. We do ship all over the EU, and we ship to most states in the US. And if you hop on the plane, you'll find us here at the tasting table, Pródi Sándor 9 in Budapest. Or you can visit Szilárd with us, or you can visit Szilárd on your own.
In any case, good wine is guaranteed.
Good wine is guaranteed. Thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening. Cheers.
Cheers.